We'll start out with some opening comments from Coach.
All right, thanks, Dave. Obviously, it's the numbers and the analytics bear out probably a little better than it appeared to the eyes, but give Western Illinois credit for gumming some things up and switching, and took us a little while to figure that out and be patient enough to get what was available. So once we did, I thought we did some good things, but the start of the second half is something we'll look at and see what we could have done differently there to get off to a better start. But happy for our guys to bounce back and to respond when we needed to, and the guys off the bench gave us a boost. It's good to see Tyler and Steve be really efficient with their numbers. The same thing with good to see Chucky made some plays for us. It's good to have Connor that see the ball go in, which I think is big for him. So in large part, like I said, just when teams do that, and the switching and jamming things up, it gives it, there's no flow to the game, which I felt we never got into a consistent flow where we could get continuous rhythm offensively. So you got to find other ways to get things done, and we were able to do that. Questions?
Nick, go ahead up front.
Hey, Greg, you mentioned some Stevens' efficiency, but obviously the double-double, 3 assists, and it seems like he obviously could have had a couple more kind of kickouts to wide-open shooters. What stood out tonight, especially kind of as a facilitator from the mid-post?
Yeah, I mean, he's really good at that. He's a good weapon to play through, whether it's mid-post, low post, high post. His ability to pass, make good decisions, and obviously you have to have his unselfishness. Sometimes he's too unselfish. I'd like to see him be more aggressive in there, but it's a good weapon. When you have bigs that can pass, that really creates a lot of issues for a defense, and we're able to finally get him the ball more and want to go to him more. But when we were able to finally get him loose a little bit, and he made good decisions when he did have it in there too.
Jeff.
Greg, you mentioned the way they mucked it up, but it seemed like you guys got the ball inside in the first half. In the second half, at least that early stretch where they kind of came back on you, more settling. Settling for threes.
Yeah, I thought we were too impatient, at times, and that's what that switching and mucking it up and whatever combinations they're playing. The whole idea is to get you to stop cutting and slow down on your cutting, and not, you have to not take that bait, and give in to taking the first easiest shot we get. When we were more patient, we got better looks, either wide open threes or we get stuck point blank at the rim. Go ahead.
Right, you obviously want Steven to be aggressive on the offensive end, but for him to rebound to the level that he did tonight, how important is it for him to just get to a consistent level with that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, and I thought there was probably 2 or 3 others that got away from him, that he could have had. But I like the activity on both ends. He was big there, down the stretch of the second half. We were able to, as we were pulling away, he extended some possessions there with offensive rebounds and getting us another 20 seconds to run offense. So I like the aggressiveness that, not only him, we've had other guys that have gotten after the offensive glass, more consistently here of late. That's good. We need that.
Greg, you guys have won 4 straight now. Obviously, I know it wasn't perfect tonight, but just ahead of a huge rivalry game on Saturday, are you starting to see this team become what it can become?
I think we're getting there. I think we're a little more consistent, especially on the defensive end. I thought we were decent defensively tonight. It was the offensive rhythm that we just couldn't get a rhythm. But we know we've got really good teams coming down the road here, starting with Saturday. But it's still about making sure we're trying to play the game as well as possible. And I think the Florida trip was good for us, that we did some really good things there, and then you have to carry it over and grow it. And that'll be continue to be the challenge going forward.
Jeff.
You might have been asked this really early in the season about Chucky, but with more scoring options this year, I mean, he picked his spots late today. Do you think that has taken some stress off him, that he can be more assertive in spurts when he needs to?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's more patient in ball screens. I think we've implemented more of those and worked on those more to really play to his strengths. And then specifically when you can put a 7-footer on the roll at the rim with Steve. And, So I think just the patience and the awareness of those around him. I think our teammates are doing a good job of finding his sight lines. So I think he understood Coach Gard wasn't real happy there in the second half, so when I had him out, he said, all right, I'll just go back in and slam the door shut here, and Coach can calm down over here as we're sputtering along. But, you know, he just has a chance he has the ability to take a game over and to make plays like he does. And, you know, that's the luxury of having a mature point guard.
Go ahead.
What's going on with Carter, and I guess, how do you feel like Marcus played in his minutes, I guess?
Yeah, Carter was questionable for tonight, and then I just decided, he went through warm-ups and said I can give it a go, and I just decided I was gonna see how the game started, and then decided not to play him. So that was my decision, just so he could continue to rest his lower body. And I thought Marcus did, you know, Marcus is someone I've wanted to get, because he's practiced well, I think he's played well when he's been in. You know, and to get him some minutes and get him in there, and I thought he did a good job. I mean, I thought he did. I didn't see any. I'll look through the tape. Any defensive breakdowns? He's much improved defensively. He's much more physical. He rebounds the ball pretty well. I know he'd like to have that free throw back, but he followed it up with a three. So just someone that gives us a little different dimension off the bench with a bigger guy that can really shoot it. So I think it's a good luxury to have. You know, when you have somebody banged up that you can go to the next guy and he's ready to go.
Go ahead.
Team in ES Media, congratulations on winning the Fort Myers tip-off. How much more dynamic does Stephen Crowd makes the offense when he's being a facilitator?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a big guy that can pass, I mean, I think that's a huge luxury. And you know, Steven's always had that skill. I think we got another one developing it. Nolan Winter is really very similar in terms of his feel for the game. But yeah, Steve he doesn't get rattled. He's really calm, and that's not always common for big guys. You know, around traffic or getting double teamed. He handled double teams really well in Fort Myers from those two teams. So, like I said, when you have a big that can pass, it's a really good weapon.
Let's have one more for Coach here.
Stephen and Tyler have said again and again that, you know, being more physical is a constant reminder, I guess. You know, why is that something that needs to be, I guess, told to them over and over? And
It's a mindset. You know, it's not so much about the physical contact is a part of it, but playing physical is a mindset. And that's something that this group has gotten better at. You know, we weren't good enough early. We were too loose in some of those early games and not being physical enough. And I think we've started to figure out how that can positively impact our play. And again, it's a mindset that we want to establish. And you know, they understand now. I think that it's, you know, it's the physical contact. It's whether it's bumping on ball screens, rebounding, screening, just having a physical presence, and really that gives you I think a mental advantage, so to speak, when you're the more physical team. So it's really about mindset. That's really what we've talked about, is how physically we have to play, and when we do, we're a much better team. All good?
Okay.
All right,
Well,
thank you.